Okay, let's open up the unit. So I'm going to minimize this. You'll see that everything on my machine is built into a virtual machine. So I'll probably do another video on this afterwards on a separate set of videos. But in this case, I've got a virtual machine and I've got all my software on this virtual machine. Then I clone it as well. So if this dies, then I have a clone that I can bring up. It has all of my programs. I don't have to worry about my laptop dying or anything like that. I can just clone this, and then if my laptop dies, I can open up another virtual machine, import this in, and then I'm ready to rock. So I've got all of my software available right here. Okay, let's take a look at Factory.io first. Excellent. Okay, so you'll have the trial license. Here you can see that I've got to put in my serial key or my share code in order to move forwards. So you've got 30 days to make use of this guy. And then after that, once you purchase the one of those editions, you'll be provided with a serial key or a share code. So I'm going to open that up on just off-site. So let me just put that code in there. I need to find a way actually so that on my virtual machine, it will keep that share code so I don't have to manually put it in every time. Sweet. Okay, so I've got a floating license here. And I've got the Ultimate Edition, just because I'm working with a number of different PLCs. And let's go back to the main menu here. Again, all the things that we looked at on the website are available here. The Getting Started documentation is available here. The manual here, parts and scenes that we looked at before. And then tutorials on each of the different drivers are here as well. So anything to do with Allen Bradley, Schneider, Siemens, Codesys, and then if you have like a Delta PLC or something like that, you're going to make use of an interface board in order to talk to it. And then their proprietary control I/O that they make use of. Okay, let's take a look at our scenes here, guys. So you can also look at the update checker, right? So check to make sure that you have the most current Factory.io installed. Let's go to scenes. If you go to My Scenes, once you actually create a scene, then that scene will be saved here. On this virtual machine, I have not created any of my own scenes yet. And taking a look at the scenes that are provided, we got 21 different scenes that we can make use of. Okay, and they range from just simple things where we have a box on a conveyor to more complicated things where we have an assembler, where we have a unit that goes and grabs parts, lifts them up, moves them over to the other side, and drops them down. An elevator that's a more advanced project. The automated warehouse is quite complex. And then in between those guys, things like the pick and place, XYZ, sorting by height, both basic and advanced. They're going to build you up and improve your PLC programming one project at a time. Cool. So let's take a look at this guy, the filling tank timers. So scene number 3. So for this one, you can see that I can move around the scene here. There's different cameras that I can make use of. So if I'm on the orbit camera, I can right click on a unit and then I can orbit around. So in order to move in or out, I'm just right clicking on a portion of the scene. So I can double click here, right click onto that portion, and then I can zoom in specifically on that push button there. Or I can zoom out and say I want to look at something on the top here. I'm going to double click on the top of the unit, and then I can zoom in and take a look at that sensor there. Okay, so that's your orbit mode. Okay, the other one we have is the fly camera. So this guy right here. So with the fly camera, you're able to go up and down. I'm using my mouse roller to go up and down. In order to go left, I'm going to hit A. In order to go right, I'm going to hit D. And then to zoom out, I'm going to hit S. And then to zoom in, I'm going to hit the W. I find that the orbit camera is the easiest to use, but you can make use of the fly camera if you want. And the other one is the first person. So that means that you're basically on the shop floor and you are moving around as you are standing on the ground there. So I believe if we go, A is going to go left, D is going to go right, S is going to go backwards, and W is going to move forwards there. Okay, if you wanted to look at different cameras, for this one, they already have cameras that are set up. So if we want to go to our control board, we can click on this guy. If we go to camera 1, Then we have a camera set up here. Camera 2 is at the valve here. Camera 3 is the entire unit. And camera 4 is from the side there. Okay, if you wanted to look at specifically, like say we wanted to look right at this control board. Okay, so if we had this set up and we always wanted to go back to this position, then we would save this. So in that case, where this is camera number 5, you can also edit the name there and change it. So control panel we can put and hit save. And now when we go to camera 1, double click on it, that goes to our sensor, and then go to control panel. Now we're back to what we just saved there. Beautiful. Okay, in terms of our push buttons and our sensors here, we can look at this. We can click on sensor tags and actuator tags. We can also go to view, and we can click here for sensor tags. Sensor tags here, we can see that we have our fill and discharge push buttons. And what else have we got? Is there any other sensors here? Let's close this bad boy up. In terms of this sensor right here, nothing's coming up at the moment. Let's go to actuators. Okay, so fill valve comes in. So we can see here that a fill valve is now labeled, and my drain valve or discharge valve is now labeled. So those are our actuators. And now in terms of this sensor right here, at the moment the configuration is digital. If I say analog, there we go. Now the tank level number 1 comes in. So the way that I did that was I right clicked on the actual sensor, I went to configuration, and I changed it from digital to analog. And again, if we want those guys to disappear, then we can click on sensor tags and actuator tags, and then we got a clean palette there. Okay, just bringing them back. If I want to control these units, so if I wanted to control the fill valve, then I'd go to view, and I'm going to dock all my tags. Okay, now these guys are set up, I believe, the fill valve, let's go from 0 to max. So this is a 0 to 10 volt signal here. And you can see that as I change this, that I'm forcing that unit on, but nothing's happening. I'm not having any water come out there. And the reason for that is that I haven't hit play. So I'm going to switch now between my edit mode and my run mode. So I'm going to hit play. And now when I control this, I will be sending a 0 to 10 volt signal to this valve, and that's obviously opening up the valve. As we do so, this level meter is now going to be doing a 0 to 10 volt signal going back to our PLC, telling us our level. If I wanted to pause the unit, then at this point we're at 4.7, 4.8, 5, we can pause it right here, and we're stuck at 5.2. It looks like the water is still flowing, but it has paused until we hit the pause button once again. Okay, at that point, if I wanted to simulate closing the valve, then I would send 0 volts to that valve. The water has now stopped. And if I wanted to open up this discharge valve seems to be using a 0 to 10 volt signal as well. And for that guy, we're going to open it up. So I'm going to open it up halfway. We can see that the water is dropping down. Our level meter is dropping. And we can see that the flow meter, there's another meter right here. The flow meter is also keeping track of the flow exiting the tank there. So we have various 0 to 10 volt signals that are coming in. And if we pause it again, you can see that this unit and this unit are forced. When you go and actually do your actual PLC program and then link it to your Factor I/O, you want to make sure that you're not forcing any of your inputs or your outputs there. Excellent. Then in terms of our push buttons, so if we go to, let's go to those cameras that we had, let's go to control panel. And we've got one for fill and one for discharge. You can see that if I, let me unpause this. If I press the fill, then you can see that it goes from gray to orange. All right, so that's a 0, that's a 1 in the memory. And if I hit the discharge, then you can see that looks like the discharge is a normally closed contact. When I press that push button, then it turns to a normally open. So that's a 0 and that's a 1. Okay, if we wanted to force these guys, I could create different failures, injecting an on failure, an off failure. And then in terms of the LEDs that are here, for the fill, if we hit this guy, then we can turn on our indicator light. And you can see that it's obviously forced there. It's still forced, so I'm going to release that. And then with the discharge LED here, then I can press this guy. And that one's harder. Yeah, that's one's really hard to see, right? So that one's illuminated, that one's not. Say that one was really hard to see. I could then, let me get rid of these cameras here. So let's close these bad boys. I'm going to stop for 2 seconds, and I'm going to right click, or left click on that push button. Then I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to go down. I can change the configuration, so I can go momentary or alternate action. And then in terms of color, that black is really hard to see. So maybe I want to change that to a red LED. Okay, now when I hit play and I release this and now press, now you can see that it's illuminated there. Beautiful. Okay, so that walks us through different camera positions. It also walks us through showing our sensor tags and actuator tags. And then in terms of showing all of the tags in order to control them manually, then we can go to View, Dock All Our Tags. And then if we want to have a clean slate, we can deselect each of them. And then we can clear our dock tags. So that's pretty good with our first video here, guys. Let's stop here. And then on subsequent videos, we're going to keep moving through the Factory.io environment. And I'll keep showing you different components and cool things in order to build up your scenes or control the existing scenes that are available. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.